No idea?
No idea.
Okay. Well, Yahoo Pipes is a tool that's designed to let you mix data found on the web up in different ways. It's all based on RSS feeds and XML, so if you have an XML source, you can use it somehow in Pipes, and it'll generate an RSS feed for you that you can put into other applications. And it's all done just with simple drag and drop, no work at all to create anything. You just, well, there's work, but it's easy. Once you know it, it can be done very quickly. So I'm going to do this all with a demo. Is there anyone that has something that they wanted to create with Pipes that they weren't able to figure out how to do? Okay.
Context searching within the
So you have an RSS feed, you just want to look for some keywords? Easy. So you go to pipes.yahoo.com, create a pipe. So this is the editor. And you get, on the left-hand side, you get all these different blocks that you can drop in. So the first thing you need is the URL of the blog you're searching. So you go choose a user input, and when you use the user input, when somebody goes to the actual page for this pipe, that's where they type it in. So you can drag in a URL, drop it wherever you want, and I'll give it a name. So I'll just call it feed. And then this is the prompt is just a user-friendly feed. The user-friendly name for it. Okay. So what's your blog?
Let me think. Well, the one I was trying to do it for was labrats.tv. / you find one of the feeds up there.
It's rad. It locks.
Funny.
Yeah, just
feed one.
Alright, so the default is just a feed that'll automatically be pre-filled when somebody comes to the page. And debug is what we're going to use inside of here, because it's a nice debugger that shows you what's going on. You can just loop through there. So now, I have a URL, so I want to grab the data that's in that feed. So I have to go to the sources and find the fetch feed. So that'll just take a feed you give it, and it'll grab the contents of that feed. You have to connect these two together, and it's all drag and drop. So this is the output of that block. Just drag it from one. And this is the URL that I want to connect to. So I'm going to go there. So now they're connected. Now if I click on that, it shows you what that block is going to give me. And as you can see, it gives me all the episodes that are in that feed. So if I were to disconnect that pipe, my pipe would just be giving exactly the contents of that feed. So now I want to filter the feed, looking for certain elements. So I grab the filter. And the locations don't matter, it's just to make it look nice, easy to use. So again, connect the bottom to the top. So now I want to allow any items that match any of the following. So what sort of terms do we have? Okay, so one thing I can search for is macro. And then I'll search for oh, sorry, I wanted it to be, so I wanted to check to see that the description contains macros. Or the title. So these are the different XML items that it sees in the feed. So it's easy to understand the description, the author. So I want to check the title too in case it's in there as well. And do the same thing for there is no any. You have to grab any. Actually, can you just like that? No, you
They've
can't.
got permit items that match all of the following.
Yeah, okay, I'll change that. So now I choose select any. So that'll give me, if I hit refresh, it'll give me the new results. And there you go, macro. Nice. That's all it is. I connect that to my pipe output. That's just what it's going to give the user. I click save.
Before you save, I know these
Yeah,
answers, but now you've got that, how do you then link that to a user's input? So
I'll show
the user
you.
can put those search terms in.
I'll show you. So since we have user input, that's what the user can use. So I'll go over to my pipes. So we'll go back to my pipes. So using all the pipes that I've created, so that's the one I just built. So then you just paste in a feed there. So if I were to put in my feed instead, let's see if it gets anything. Probably not values. Yeah, that one. Found something. And then I want to run that feed, so you can click get RSS, and it gives me the RSS feed for results.
So you pass parameters in.
You can pass them through the URL, so the link that it gave me actually is, it's right there, so feed equals, so you can put it in there.
Okay, so I can add another.
You can change it. Well, this one will only support one feed.
But I meant for keywords. Can
Yeah.
I say and keywords equals X, Y, Z?
You'd have to, again, so here's what I can do. If I go and edit it. So, let's see, how can I do that? So you want to look for to allow the user to search for any keywords. So I will get another user input, and he can get a text input. So then keywords. So now I'm going to get the user to separate them by commas. And so we have a whole bunch of operators we can do with strings. And let me see how string tokenizer things are. Yeah. So I'm just going to say I'm separating a comma delimited, so I just put a comma there. So that means that if I say iPod, Macworld, Apple, and Plugin, actually don't put spaces. So if I see the results of that, I've got 4 items: iPod, Macworld, Apple Bucket. So now, I think that grab that in there. So I don't want any of these. Filter that will take an array, yeah. I know it's certainly possible. And okay, so I don't know how to do this. But the great thing about pipes is that everything is open. You can go and look at somebody else's. So I'm going to go to the website and just find, let's see what that one does. Yeah, so this one gives me, so it's giving it 3 items. I don't want that. I want to be able to do it by commas. So, I know there's one that does this. So let's just take a look at the source of this one. So everything that you don't have to choose, you don't have to publish your pipes. Once you're all done, you click the publish button, and then they show up. So these ones are ones that they have published already. One thing Pipes does is nice Ajax thing tends to slow your browser down if you have a lot of them. There we go. Okay, so what's it doing? So it's using the URL builder here, which lets you put in a base and then you can give it the query parameters. So if you have any kind you want to use, you can just put them all through there. And then you can see some of them get pretty big.
URLs there.
Yeah. And the bad feeling that this guy is not actually doing it. So he's looping through all the items. Well, that's just the output there. How about we say that it is possible, and I'll tell you how to do it later. So you don't get stuck on this. Okay, so one thing that I was thinking that I would show you that makes this interesting is, say we do want to only search a macro in MATLAB, but rather than getting the person to type in the feeds that they want, how about they give you a delicious URL. They give them your delicious name and tag. And then all you have to do to get it to show up in here is to tag it in delicious. So I want to put in a text input, and this will just be your username. No, okay. That's my username. And I also want to get the tag that they're going to use. So and I'll just call it search. So now I want you to use that URL builder. So what that does is it lets you take different parameters and build out the URL. So I'm not actually sure what the feed for delicious is. I'm going to guess. First, I have nothing typed out there. I should take that last one.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so I haven't taken anything down. Oh, okay, I'll switch for those are the copies. So I'll take it.
Just bring this intermediate.
And the feed for this is just RSS / okay. So type in the base of the URL, and now I want to further the path. I want my username. So just plug that in. And I want the tag, which I get in. So I'm connecting it to the spots that I want it to be. And if I click to see what that's giving me, right, we got extra slash. So that's my URL. So now I want to fetch that feed. So that'll just give me one item, the one thing that I've tagged with. So that's just the page. I don't have the feed, I just have the page. So I'm going to drag that down on my media right now. Just delete that connection because I need to put some more stuff in there. So what I need to do is I need to create a loop to loop through everything that I've tagged. Right now I only have one, but I'm going to have more. So I loop through it. I can drag, I connect my feed, and then I can perform an action on every single one of the items in that feed. So if I go to sources again, you can fetch site feed. And what that will do is it'll go to the URL, look for the embedded RSS feed, and grab the items in there. Okay. So I want the URL to be item.link, and I want to emit all results. So that will be every item that's in that feed. And we didn't get it. So the item.link is lab.tv. Like, those guys didn't have a, when I was there, they didn't, my little orange icon didn't pop up saying that they had feed. So, but I can take this out. this is where I take myself like. Is it podcast on it? Interesting. Well, you've got your feet set up, right?
Yeah, should go. Oh.
I want that to go again. All right, so now I've got 3 feeds in there, so it should pick up at least something. So if I run this again, refresh. Still no. I'm not picking them up. There's also one other. Style sheet. Okay, who's got a good blog that has their feed actually set up?
Cyberwalker.com.
Cyberwalker?
Yeah, .com.
Okay.
I know the homepage has got a thing.
On my blogshop feed, martin.king.org.
Why aren't any of these working? Cyberwalker.com?
Yeah. Definitely got a homepage.
Do you guys know what the problem is I'm having? That's not doing. It's not being able to auto detect the feeds. It's not in the because there's a link there, but none of these pages are showing the feed automatically.
Try martin.king.org.
Martin, but can you spell it?
C-L-E-A.
Clever.
C-L-E-A.
Yeah.
EA.
V-E-R.
That work.
Does it depend on the platform maybe? The host?
No.
It's just a.
Pick it up.
Why am I not picking these up?
It's
Did
just
somebody
open
just
source.
go and take out the? Yeah, I'm going to view my sources. Obviously.
There we are. There we are. Ultimate application /acrobatics.xml. And then what does it have as a tag at the end?
Oh, that's going on. Yeah, so that one should work. So I'll take that. You better work. Right. So make sure it showed up here. Okay, so you're there already. Actually, I think Pipes likes to cache things.
Yeah. Everything.
And it's possible, yeah, if I hit refresh, I don't think it's fetching the, oh, you know what, I'm not, it wasn't fetching the new RSS feed from Delicious.
Yeah. Here we go.
So yeah, so yours isn't there yet. But hopefully Bill's is showing up in mine. Well, actually, I just saw a whole lot of
Yeah, lots of already there.
All right, so now I'm getting all the, so these are the latest posts from all those blogs that are tagged with do search. So it's going into My Delicious, sees the username, sees the tag that I'm using, builds the URL for that feed, grabs the feed, loops through, so it grabs the feed from Delicious, which just has the links. It doesn't actually have the blog posts in it. Then it loops through all of those links, finds the auto-discoverable RSS feed, and then returns all of the items from each of those feeds. So now I want to add my search. I already have that set up. Since I already have a bunch of items, just connect the two. just going to update to see that it's still got the same thing, so everything's good. Run my pipe output. Now when you do the fetch site feed, it starts to get really slow if you have a lot of items, just because it's got to go to every page, look for it, find the feed, and download it. So when I'm debugging, I often go through and put a truncate on, which is in the operators, and that just lets you only allow so many of each thing through, just like say 5 feeds through, just speed things up. So we got two updates here. I know Bill's talking about his iPod there. And that's the one that we saw from my Blackbird. So again, when I save it, when I refresh this page, so this is the public page for it. It has the two inputs that's asking for, and it's got the default field there. So I could give it somebody else's Delicious. Who uses Delicious?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, are you correctly on there?
Good question. Might be Crosby C. Crosby C. CROSBYC.
Okay, what's the tag you have on there?
What's a tag?
That have a blog on it.
A podcast audio.
I don't think I tag full blogs. I tag blog posts.
That should work still.
Yeah?
I just need it. I just need a tag of some sort. Actually, it
Okay.
might work with that.
Blogs.
Okay. Let's find something. That might run a long time if you've got a lot of things tagged. So we'll let that go. So this is nice. We're using RSS feeds, putting them together. Feed, something I just built on Thursday, got a lot of people excited, was a pipe that I built that actually goes through and finds all the posts from all of my Twitter friends. Not their Twitter posts, but their blog posts. And I'm doing this with their Twitter API. So, let's see if, I want to see the Twitter API. It's pretty easy to use. It just gives you XML. Yeah, thanks.
Why is that working? Damn.
I'm going to blame it on Flock because it's a beta that just was released last week.
Yeah, sometimes it's weird.
So what I can do with the Twitter API is it gives me an XML feed that has the URL of people's blogs. It actually does pretty much the same thing we just did for the Delicious. I can loop through each of the URLs that I get, find the feed, and then return the results. Okay. So yeah. So rather than going into something complicated, does everybody know what we're doing now? Any questions? Yeah.
I missed the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
Is the goal to get search results, or is
It's to do whatever you want
okay?
with RSS feeds.
But can
So
you
here-
also, can you also create a custom feed based on the filters that you're creating?
Yep. And it's not just filtering. So, okay, I'll do something other than, like, the Twitter one is
With his
related.
Twitter one, he matched a whole pile of stuff together.
Yeah.
I mean, what it is, his Twitter one looks through, and this shows you the power. It goes and looks at your Twitter account and says, these are all your friends, these are all their blogs, this is the RSS feed from the blog, and then it says, okay, give me all of those blog posts. So you subscribe to one feed that's got all of your Twitter friends' blog posts in it.
Okay, so at the end of all that, it gives you a custom feed that you could plug into your
Exactly. Feed
Google Reader or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now, what he could also do with that is put a filter on it afterwards. So he could say, okay, show me all of the blog posts that my Twitter friends have about PodCamp.
Okay.
That you could do that, but you don't, whether you want to or not.
Okay. So for instance, just like on a real general question.
Yeah, this is the long.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so like I have a feed for photography.
Yeah.
So it shoots out my photography podcasts, photographs, and blog posts. If I wanted to, obviously I could just filter it such that only my photographs show in a particular feed, and then allow people to subscribe to that feed.
Yep, exactly. So I don't use it to produce feeds give to other people usually. I give it for just to help me consume content on the web.
Right.
But like, there's a lot of people that are creating mega feeds. Like you give it the feed for your Flickr, your Delicious, your Twitter, your blog, and it just puts
In your
everything
case,
together.
if you're the one posting the content, you can control that.
Right.
By setting up categories or something in WordPress, you could do that way easier than having to build a pipe for it.
Okay.
Pipes would be more something that you don't have control over the content that's getting thrown down the RSS feed,
Okay.
and you want to either put two together or get rid of some stuff, or millions of other things.
I was going to say, one use, I know that Richard at Dell says that he uses it to monitor mentions of Dell all over the web from all different sources. So he throws a whole bunch of sources into pipes somehow. This is his explanation. Just throws them in and has it spit it out. And he searches the whole web from all different like blogs and wherever, podcasts and everything. But I don't know what sources he's using, what feeds, but what's one use to help him monitor that.
How do you use it every day on a daily basis, you particularly?
Well, like I don't go into the interface. I just subscribe to the feeds.
What feeds do you use? Like
The ones that I've got this Twitter Friends one that I've just built. The other one my other favorite is Flickr. I have Flickr large size and Flickr auto feed. The Flickr large size will take any Flickr feed, and then you know how Flickr feeds only have the little thumbnail in them. I want to be able to look at the full photo in my feed reader. So I take that feed, get the photo API from it, and then use the photo ID from it, use Flickr's API to get the large size photo. So I just have to give it a Flickr RSS feed, and then it spits me out a new feed that replaced all the thumbnails with a full-size photo. And the other, my Flickr auto feed, what that one does is I've got my little NE100, and I can use it as a digital picture frame if I give it an RSS feed. But if I and I wanted to do this with my Flickr contacts, see whatever the photos they had, and just have it running for a while. Flickr's feed only has like 20 items in it. If I let that go, it's 10 seconds per photo, it only takes like 5 minutes to go through it. And they're only the little thumbnails. So I created a new one that if I gave it my Flickr username, it would find all my contacts and return the first 100 photos for each of my contacts. And then I put that into the large size, so then I get a large photo from all my contacts, and it's got like 400 items in it, so I ran it through half.
Do you use Twitter as your master friend list then?
No. Like I certainly have, I don't just start things in Twitter. But it's not everybody's.
So do you blend all your friend lists from all the different applications to use sort of the aggregated list as the way to make all the other lists as longer than the first ones?
Well, most of my feeds are just straight into the reader. I don't just use friends for everything.
Right. I'm wondering in terms of a friend list, you have friends lists on Twitter, friends lists on Facebook. You could traverse and find, make them all comprehensive.
Well, or you can use Flock and you just click on this little button here. Because that actually checks my Twitter, Flickr, and Facebook and shows the latest things for each one. Unfortunately, it doesn't update nearly often enough for Twitter to be useful for Twitter.
Right.
And I think it only does it every 10 minutes or so.
Down there.
So anything else that you wanted to see with pipes?
That's pretty cool.
Questions? You all boggled?
We are amazed.
It's a lot to go through. Like if you had, there was another idea you had, and it's something you only come up with really cool ideas after you've used it and you realize what you can do. Like if you just click on browse, there's all sorts of different things on here that they've done. Yes, this one's I've built that one. So this one just give it an RSS feed, puts a little label on every single item in the feed. Let's see. I want to search for something with maps. Because actually you can create maps with things as well. And I'm not sure how it works.
There's someone can create some maps based on the news, the real news.
I didn't realize it was
Yeah, so geotagged news. Yeah, so this is the Yahoo pipe. And what it's doing is it's showing the news taking Reuters' news feed and geotagging it, creating a map out of it. So I can click on any of these, and you can see the news that's happening in different locations on the world. And it's so if I geotag my Flickr photos, I can do the same thing. And then, so this is neat. How do you do it? Click on View Source. I'm hoping it's going to be something that's with like 5 plots or less, so I can actually show you what it does.
It is 5.
Yeah, it is. Well, they don't always show up right away.
One of them calls another one.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
So,
fine.
yeah, so he's building a URL. What's he doing?
Oh, it's not used for Google Maps.
And so that's where he started. Okay, so I think this is a feed that gives you the coordinates for every city in the world. And then, yeah, so because he's piping in the URL is the name that comes from here. And this is, the here is the feed from writers. So it goes through, goes into here, lets this website figure out the location, grabs that feed, grabs the locations that were in the feed, and then creates a map out of it. So the way the map is generated is there'll be, yeah, so there's a latitude and longitude, and it's just grabbing that and putting it into a map.
So that location extracted is actually put up red in the picture of the map.
Well, I think it's, well, you could put that into anything. It's pipes that's generating the map. So all you need is a latitude and longitude. So I think, so this feed here, what has it got in it? So it's already got a latitude and longitude. So I'm not quite sure what the location extractor is there. What we can do, click on that question mark. Yeah, so it actually goes to see and find if it can find his location for everything. So it does all the work. Because there is a lot of things in here. So like there's the Yahoo search category.
Location, yeah, there is location.
Yeah, so there's location one. That's the location I should build it in. Yeah, so like the Yahoo search will do a search in Yahoo. And then there's the Yahoo local. There's one that will figure out the terms that are in anything, so you can get tags that are tags that you're using something.
If I wanted to recreate this, I could technically just change the feed of news that it's pulling from, correct?
Yeah,
And
if
it would
there's-
change the map accordingly.
Yep. So you can put a different feed in, and if you like it but you want to change something about it, you can click on Save Copy, and that takes their source and puts it in the URL. And
If you really like your feed, can you subscribe to it, or?
yeah, because it gives you an RSS feed because it gives you those when you go